There was a time when the noise was louder than everything else. The voices of people who hurt us, the voices of fear, the voice of rejection, the voice of comparison, the voice that told us we weren't enough. But somewhere along the journey, we began to discover another voice. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Silence the Noise. I'm your host, Amokeberry, and today, I don't want to rush. Honestly, I want us to sit together for a moment because we are almost at the end of season 1. And when I think about how far we've come, I honestly have to take a breath. Because this season wasn't just a collection of podcast episodes. It was a journey, and maybe for some of you, it became your journey too. At the beginning of this season, we talked about the things we don't always say out loud, the things we hide behind smiles, the things we carry into our bedrooms at night, the things we pretend don't hurt anymore, and slowly, episode by episode, we started confronting them. We talked about the inner critic, that voice that tells you you're not good enough, that voice that reminds you of every mistake but forgets every victory. And maybe you realized that voice wasn't always telling you the truth. We talked about healing not being linear. We learned that having a difficult day doesn't mean you've lost all your progress. That sometimes you can be healing and hurting at the same time. We talked about letting go without closure. And perhaps that one hurt. Because some of us are still waiting for an apology, still waiting for an explanation, still waiting for someone to finally admit, I hurt you. But we learned that sometimes closure doesn't come from the person who hurt you. Sometimes you have to give yourself permission to close the door. We talked about protecting your peace, and hopefully you discover that peace isn't something you should have to constantly negotiate for. You are allowed to walk away. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to stop explaining yourself. You are allowed to choose yourself. We talked about reclaiming your time and energy. Because how many years have we given away trying to make people understand us? How much energy have we spent proving our worth? How many hours have we spent worrying about things we cannot control? Maybe you're learning to take some of that energy back. Then we talked about forgiving the version of yourself that was trying to survive. And I really hope that somewhere along the way you became kinder to yourself. Because you deserve compassion then and you deserve it now. We talked about outgrowing what no longer grows you. And that can be painful because sometimes growth means leaving behind things you once prayed for, people you once loved, places you once called home, even versions of yourself you once knew so well. But growth doesn't always look like gaining. Sometimes growth looks like releasing. And then we talked about something incredibly important. You don't have to carry it alone. Because strength isn't pretending you don't need anyone. Strength is knowing when you say, I need help. I need someone to listen. I'm not okay today. There is strength in vulnerability. And then we talked about something else. Something I hope stays with you long after this season ends. Healing doesn't mean you won't hurt again. You may still have difficult days. You may still cry. You may still remember, but now you know something you don't know before. You can survive the feeling. And then we asked you to look at the person in the mirror. Not to criticize her, not to judge him, but to see them. To finally say, I see you. I'm proud of you. You've come so far. And now, here we are, episode 20. And I want to ask you something. Are you still listening to the same noise? Because maybe the circumstances around you haven't completely changed. Maybe the people haven't changed. Maybe life hasn't suddenly become perfect. But have you changed? Maybe that's the real transformation. The noise didn't disappear. You became louder than it. Fear still speaks, but you don't obey it like you used to. People still have opinions, but they don't determine your identity anymore. Your past still exists, but it no longer controls your future. You still have scars, but you no longer hide them. That's growth. I want you to think about the person you were when season 1 began. What were you carrying? What were you afraid of? What were you pretending didn't hurt? What did you need to hear? And now, look at you. You are still here. Maybe you are not where you want to be yet, but you are not where you used to be. And sometimes, that's worth celebrating. Maybe the biggest victory wasn't leaving the relationship. Maybe it was realizing you deserved better. Maybe the biggest victory wasn't becoming successful. Maybe it was learning to stop measuring your worth by success. Healing has changed the way you see yourself, and that's why the noise doesn't get the last word, because the last word belongs to you. So, if someone told you, you will never become anything, look at what you are becoming. If someone told you, nobody will love you, look at the love you've learned to give yourself. If someone told you, you will never recover, look at you, still standing, still breathing, still becoming, still here. And perhaps that's what season 1 was really about. Not becoming a perfect person, but becoming a person who finally understands their worth. A person who knows when to stay, when to leave, when to speak, when to be silent, when to fight, and when to surrender. We've talked about a lot, but there's still one conversation left, one final episode. And before we get there, I want you to do something tonight. Find a quiet place, put your phone down, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what am I no longer willing to carry into my next season? Maybe it's guilt, maybe it's resentment, maybe it's fear, maybe it's someone's opinion, maybe it's an old identity, maybe it's the belief that you are not enough. Whatever it is, write it down and then let it go. Because you cannot enter a new season while constantly dragging the old one behind you. Beautiful people, we are almost there. Episode 21 is coming. And I don't want you to walk into the final season as the same person who started this journey. I want you to arrive differently, with more compassion, more courage, more understanding, more peace, and perhaps a little less noise. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for trusting me with your stories. Thank you for allowing my voice to sit beside you in your quiet moments. Thank you for showing up. But most importantly, thank yourself. Because you could have given up. You could have stayed stuck. You could have allowed your past to become your identity. But you are here, and that's something. So, as we close episode 20, remember, the noise can speak. Let it. People can have opinions. Let them. Your past can knock on the door. Let it knock. But you don't have to invite everything inside. Because now, you know who you are. And the noise doesn't get the last word. I am Amokeberry, and this is Silence the Noise. Until episode 21, quiet the chaos, protect your peace, honor your journey, and whatever you do, don't let the noise become louder than the truth inside you. Before I draw the curtains, kindly take a deep breath with me, and if possible, repeat after me. I am proud of how far I have come. I release what no longer belongs in my next chapter. I no longer allow fear to lead me. I no longer allow other people's opinion to define me. I forgive the person I used to be. I honor the person I am becoming. My past is part of my story, but it is not my identity. I choose peace. I choose healing. I choose myself. And from this day forward, I will no longer let the noise have the final word. If season 1 have taught you anything, what is that one thing you're leaving behind before you enter your next chapter? See you next time. And bye-bye.